my name is Eva. I'm a fourth year Spanish Studies and Applied Linguistics major at UCSC. I studied abroad in the summer of 2025 with UCAP at the Universitat de Barcelona in Barcelona, Spain. For me, as a language student, I always knew I wanted to study abroad, to fully immerse myself in the language and experience a new culture in the way that only study abroad and travel can allow. It was actually my first time out of the country, so I was super excited for the opportunity. During my time in Spain, I lived with a host family. So I lived with an elderly host, and some of my best memories included talking with her in Spanish about a whole range of different things. In Spain, there's something really special called a sobremesa, which is where after you have a meal with somebody, you sit with them at the table and chat about everything under the sun for a very long time, so not just rushing to the next thing after you finish eating. So we would have very fun sobremesas. We'd sit at her kitchen table after breakfast and discuss everything under the sun, from books to local politics, local culture, her history, my history, everything. My favorite memory I always think back to is when she invited me to see a performance of classical music at the beach known as Clases de la Playa. I met her and other local friends at the beach, and we snacked on a traditional Spanish picnic. This performance was also all in the local language of Catalan, and had subtitles in English, Spanish, and Catalan, so you could see all three languages interact. It was of a play called Marisela, which is all in the language, and very, very great. It was a very fun cultural experience. My program was valuable in allowing me to get structure and getting myself abroad. There were very useful orientations and available resources, such as the UCEAP Study Center, that were available while I was in Spain. Being in Spain in general actually allowed me to think more about my future and how I would like to return to Spain to be an English teaching assistant in primary schools. So it has shaped my future goals and allowing me to understand what I want to do for a career, which is teaching English as a foreign language. For me, this question of studying abroad was less of why and more of how. The greatest concern was cost. I worried about being able to fund the program, being able to fund flights, travel, food, everything. However, this is where taking advantage of resources came into play. I applied to multiple scholarships, but I mainly wanted to highlight the Gilman International Scholarship Program. So the Gilman International Scholarship is a merit-based program which awards eligible students up to $5,000. They encourage the idea of global consciousness and being a global communicator. So I always think back to how I spoke to my host and how we had this cultural exchange where we could understand each other. So I feel more globally conscious in the sense that I was able to understand a different culture other than my own and be able to put myself out there. Something that was super helpful was their Gilman Alumni Network and resources, which encouraged me to go out of my comfort zone because I felt like I had support, and I was able to have meaningful conversations with those outside of my culture. Applying to the Gilman Scholarship itself was pretty straightforward. I would encourage anyone looking into a study abroad program to note deadlines early for Gilman. There were some things you need, such as an official transcript, class schedules, everything like that you kind of need to prepare in advance. So it is important to be mindful of Gilman's deadlines, as they are kind of a competitive program. I would encourage all prospective study abroad students to look into Gilman. I think they're a really great scholarship, and I cannot be more thankful to them for their contribution. Another important resource that I'd like to highlight is the Global Learning Office right on campus. I met with advisors countless times to coordinate choosing a program, figuring out how to get myself there, applications, scholarships, other fundamental information, even information about Gilman. I was actually initially gained interest in my program through the campus Global Learning Fair hosted by the Global Learning Office. So they have really interesting and useful resources if you're interested in going abroad. Overall, I will never forget my experience abroad. I still treasure the memories of Spain dearly, and I'm trying to get myself back over there, frankly. Thank you.